And now, visiting Korea for the 11th time, a man of his word, please welcome the one, the only, Mr. Tom Cruise. Tom, welcome.
Hello, thank you all for being here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you. We are all so very excited to have you. You just got here yesterday, right? And this is your 11th time visiting Korea. Tell us how it feels this time.
That feels amazing. Every time I come, I just feel very welcomed and warm. And the other night when we arrived, I went out, and of course I had to have Korean barbecue. So I went to a great place, great restaurant, and then just walked around and said hello to everyone around the area. It's been really lovely.
That's wonderful.
It's been very special, especially during this time, because making the film with this cast, to have them here, we're all very excited about tonight to present the film to everyone, and we talk about these moments and what it's like to come to this country and be here. So it's very special.
That's
always very special to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, so I want to start off by asking you, it's incredible to see your filmmaking accomplishments over the year, to say the least, over your career. And so we want to know what motivates you to continue making movies.
I just have an absolute passion for storytelling. It's something that I've wanted to do since I was 4 years old, make movies, and I wanted to travel the world. When you see my films, it's really encompasses a whole life. I've spent most of my life in rented houses and hotels, and I always wanted an adventurous life, and it's something that I feel very privileged to be able to do it. And it is a passion for life, a passion for storytelling. I never went to a formal education for film or acting. I've studied it. I was lucky. The first films that I auditioned for I got since I was 18. And I would go and I'd studied every single department on the film. And I just studied it, and that's what I did on every single movie. And I grew up watching films. I had jobs cutting grass or, all kinds of jobs. I had a lot of odd jobs where I'd just go up and shovel snow out of people's driveways to make money. And then I would go to the movies. And so then when I was 18 years old, I went to New York, and I started auditioning for films. And actually, the first film I auditioned for, I got, and the next film I auditioned for, I got the role. But I would also, as a kid, I would write characters and create skits, and I would create different kinds of characters to entertain my family or friends. So there was always that storyteller that was there in me.
Thank you. And with every new mission film, it's so obvious that you always raise the bar. So could you tell us, how have you made Dead Reckoning Part 1 your biggest mission film yet?
Well, it was really Christopher McQuarrie, who he'll come out shortly. He came and he said, I said, do you want to do another one? He said, sure. And he said, I want to do 2 movies, because always the stories that we have, the film is so big and the stories are so vast that he said, let's do 2. So I said, okay, let's break it off into 2. And then we just go back and forth on the kind of environment that we want. If you look at my films, they celebrate cultures and geography. And that's Mission Impossible, which was the very first film. The first Mission Impossible was the first film that I ever produced. And now here we are all these years later. So that's what happened, essentially. We come up and look at geography, and we're looking at, what's that story going to tell us? So and also we wanted, when you look at this mission, what it's encompassing, the kind of, I also felt that the whole series could earned this moment, earned this level of scale of storytelling and scale of action, and not just for my character, but for the entire cast.
And speaking of scale, we cannot not talk about the amazing stunts. And so we all saw the incredible motorcycle jump. How much work does it go into pulling something off like that? I mean, we can't imagine.
It's, you know, doing a stunt like that, it's also, we're both focused, McHugh and I are focused on story, what story we're going to tell, finding, look, I fly airplanes, helicopters, jets, warbirds, I parachute, you'll see, I guess we're going to show speed flying that I do, and so it's really decades of ability that is then focused to be able to do something like this. So I broke this, you know, what I do is I'll break things down so that I'm very competent, capable at it, so that we had to really figure out, had to train, do extra training and parachuting and, you know, unstable positions at very low altitudes so that I would recover quickly. Just more training on motorcycles. I've ridden motorcycles since I was a kid and jumped and stuff, so, but never off a ramp and off a cliff in Norway. And McHugh and I, we had to, you know, we found the place and something that's incredibly visual. He's a very elegant storyteller, Christopher McQuarrie, and has an amazing eye, so it's finding that location. And then essentially looking and building the ramp. So all of these pieces came together, and I broke it up into pieces because when I'm doing the jump, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. I only have a few seconds before I have to open the parachute. And you can see on the internet, the longer version, when I'm testing, when I'm jumping out of the helicopter and I'm testing, because I'm going down into a bowl, and there's all kinds of turbulence there, and you can see I opened a little just shoulder high, just very subtle, and as I opened, the parachute turned me into the side of the cliff. So you can see I open and it goes into the side of the cliff. I recovered, but those are the things that I have to worry about as I'm going across the ramp. I'm worried about that helicopter coming across and blowing me off the ramp before I get to the end of it. Once I depart the ramp, it's also the separation from the motorcycle and to keep my body in a position where I'm not going to go into a tumble. I then have to hold on long enough so that all the cameras can catch me falling, and then I have to open, obviously, before I hit the ground, and then don't hit the side of the mountain, and try to make it back. Try to make it back. And so all of these things, I'm also, at the beginning, it's all one shot, and so I'm performing, I'm acting and thinking about story and character. So, but I'm also, when I'm doing things like this, I'm fully aware of all the cameras around and every aspect. And McHugh and I have spent a lot of time, and it's also where to put the camera. How do you film these things? So it's not just something you can see on the internet, but that it's invests an audience in story.
Thank you so much. I mean, that sounds absolutely incredible, and I'm very happy that we are coming to the next plot, where you know that you've prepared a never-before-seen exclusive featurette to share with the Korean press today. It's a clip that's being shown for the first time in the world, so let's first take a look at the speed-flying featurette, and then we will invite you back on stage to talk more.
Sure.
Thank you.